Hey, what's up guys? My name is Daniel Cornejo. Welcome to Creative Shorts. Today's guest with me is Obed Padilla.
Shalom.
Shalom. So, I just want to say thanks, man, for giving me time to be able to have you on this little journey that I'm trying to take.
Yeah, bro.
But just tell me about yourself.
Like I said, my name's Obed. 24 years old from Oceanside, California. Yeah, I make music.
What kind of music do you make?
It's like a mixture, like soul, R&B, hip hop, whatever I'm feeling at the moment.
Yeah. How long have you been creating music?
I've been playing guitar since I was about 10 or 11 years old, so like 13 years, 14 years.
Nice. Growing up, what inspired you to want to learn the guitar and be able to play it?
Well, my dad had a big vinyl collection with old records like Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Eric Clapton, which is just have it's all these great, guitar players, and just hearing the sound of it and the noises that they make, I don't know, I felt like that was very inspiring because I was just a kid, so it's just discovering something new.
While discovering it, were you more or less discovering it you wanted to play, or was it you want to make sounds similar and make music of your own?
At first, it was appreciating it, because I feel like I've always been a daydreamer.
Yeah.
And so that kind of just took it to the next level of just being able to hear all these sounds and kind of putting myself in these situations in my head. And then, once I got a little older, I was like, oh, I can actually do this,
Sure. What are some of the artists that you looked up to, while listening through your dad's vinyl collection and stuff like that? Who are your favorite?
Man,
top three.
Top three? This is older artists, right?
Yeah, or anyone.
Or anybody? Man.
Anyone at that time of when you were just learning, who was your inspiration?
I would have to say Stevie Ray Vaughan, B.B. King, and Eric Clapton.
Nice. I personally, I've heard of Eric Clapton, but I haven't heard of the other guy.
Yeah, those are all blues artists.
With music, what, from where you started then to where you are now, were you expecting to progress this much and to continue to go and through with music?
No, I didn't. I went through little phases of things that I was into at the time. Middle school, I was into skateboarding. Then high school, I was super into surfing. All while doing music, but I didn't know I was gonna take it so seriously. And then in high school, I was in theater, and I wanted to act. Once I graduated, I was planning on moving to Hollywood and pursuing all that. But then once I graduated, I was like, oh, shit, it's the real world.
Yeah. Let's veer off, but why, what killed your dream with that? Once you graduated, you're oh, it's real life. What stopped you from
because
pursue acting?
You're in this bubble, high school, right? And if you know everybody or whatever, it's this small little world, and everything's fine in it. You're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
All you have to do is go from this class to this class to this class, and you talk to your friends, and you go eat lunch and whatever. But then you get into the real world. I know it's super cliche to talk about, but it's true. It's oh, shit's not that easy?
Yeah.
Well, damn. What do I do now? So then you have to go get a regular job, and you got bills now, and it's very, I guess, at first, like, it was disheartening because it's like, well, damn, really can't follow my dreams. It seems almost impossible.
Yeah.
You know.
Who were like besides like other artists, like were there certain people that inspired you as a kid, like whether it was like family members or like other artists that were local or like stuff like that?
My dad definitely, because I grew up in the church. My dad's a pastor, and so like that's where I first started playing music like live, like, you know, on the worship team. Like I started out playing bass. That was my first instrument, like playing live, and then I played guitar, and then I led worship, and, you know, like he always encouraged that. So I always bought like amplifiers and guitars, and I had a drum set at my house and like all kinds of different instruments, and like I was free to be as loud as I wanted to, and, you know, just, I guess, express myself in that way. Like it was never looked down upon, you know?
Yeah.
I was always encouraged. So definitely, yeah, looking up to my pops.
That's cool, man. So you do come from like a religious background and stuff like that?
I wouldn't say religious. Spiritual, yes.
Yeah.
But it was never, don't do this or don't do that, you know. But yeah, spiritual background.
Growing up with me, it was more or less like there was no like option if you want to go to church or not.
Yeah.
So I went to Cornerstone and to Calvary, and then there were times where like my mom was like, all right, you gotta go to class. No, I don't want to go to class. These kids are weird. Like, and I didn't really like it until like when I got older, and I realized like it's more of like the picture was painted different. Like I had the option to go or not.
Yeah.
But like I don't know I would say with myself, like if it wasn't for church, like it was like it kept me out of a lot of trouble. Like I still did stupid stuff.
Definitely.
But like it was definitely something that like kept me in line, because it was painted like, oh, you're gonna like, I wasn't like told you're gonna go to hell, but it's like if you go to like if you sin, like it's as bad. So that's like what I would say. It wasn't like fear, but it was just like stuff that kept me aligned.
Yeah. I feel like the foundation and like the morals and principles, like that stuff is great.
Yeah.
Growing up, like, cause I was sheltered, you know, me and my younger brother, like we were sheltered from things. But once we got older, it's like, oh, your parents can't really protect you from that anymore, you know?
Yeah.
So then you see what's really going on. But once I had like a choice to go or not go to church, like I didn't want to go to church because, I don't know, it just something didn't click with me, you know? Like I would look at all the kids around me, and like kids would see me at parties and stuff, or they heard that I was at this party, and then like I'd get judged or looked at differently. I'm like, well, yo, you were there too.
That's funny. How, like, from your start point of your career into where you are now, like, how long would you say, like, it took you to actually, like, make it a career? Because, like, you're full-time music and, like, full-time, like, producer, like, artist, everything. Like, how long did that take for you to actually, like, be able to master that craft and to, like, make a living off of it?
Man, I still feel like I'm learning every day.
Yeah.
It's been about close to 2 years that I haven't had a real job. I've had little side hustles and stuff, you know, but yeah, pretty much doing music full time. Like, I think like the homies really helped me out in that sense. Like the first person that really helped me out with that was a homie, Anthony Cruz, 1995.
Yeah,
shout out
Anthony
my
Cruz.
brother.
He's a homie.
Yeah, like we sold a beat, and I was like, oh dang, like we made this in the garage, like quick, like that. And I was like, dang, you could really do this. And so from then, like, I was like, oh wow, like maybe I can do this. Cause I did like studio work, you know, and I've been on tour and stuff like that, but those are just, it's like a seasonal job in music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for me, like I guess production part, or, you know, making instrumentals or making beats for somebody, it's like, dang, you could do that all year long. And like once more and more people hear your stuff, like you get to work with different artists, you know.
Yeah. What are like, who are like some other people now that like that would you say that continues to inspire you and to push you and motivate you, like?
Like musicians or artists or just
like
anybody?
Anyone in general, just like they could be your parents, your friends,
Artists. My pops definitely. Still, you know, he still always give me little nuggets of wisdom. Pause. You know, like he always just, I don't know, especially when I need to hear something. Like he always has what to say, but still encouraging me to this day. My brother John Gibbs, you feel me? That fool, I feel like listening, like working with him and making stuff, like, I don't know, I just saw it doesn't need to be this huge, big old thing to make a song, you know? You just gotta be, it's a feeling. Yeah. And like, you just make something in the moment. And whatever you feel at that time, like, put that into, like, you know, a canvas.
That's right, because I met you through John. Because I was just like, when I went up to LA a few times, he was talking about you. He's like, "You know Obed?" And I was like, "No, I don't. Like, I've seen him on Instagram, but I was like, I don't know him. Like, I've heard him through Anthony too, obviously."
Yeah.
But I mean, I could agree with you on that end because I pitched this idea to him, and his advice was just like, just run with it.
Yeah.
Like, you never know how far you're gonna get until you actually try it.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like a cliche like advice, but like I didn't realize it until I kept hearing that message from like John, Dom, my brother, and a few like other people, and I told myself, and I was like, dude, I'm just gonna run with this.
Yeah.
I'm surrounded by all these creative people, whether it's like music or just like people that are just passionate about their stuff, and then that's their job. Like that's like the community that I'm surrounded by, and I was like, I want to be able to do something that I'm passionate about and I want to continue with. But I don't know, me personally, I feel like it's like, I don't know if this is with you, but like with myself, it's, I like having that group of people to where like I could feed off of their energy more or less. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like they motivate me.
Bounce ideas off of one another.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that community is very important, especially like if you're starting something, you know. It's not like you already have, like even myself, like I don't have this established thing, you know. I'm still learning things every day. But if you have that close little support group, it'll be times when you're like, damn, like I should quit this shit. Or I don't feel like doing this today. Like those people will help bump you up, you know. And even with questions and stuff, like another person, James Russell, Jay Ruckers, like when I first started like producing, I watched a lot of stuff that he did and learned a lot just by watching what he did and asking questions. I think that's a huge thing, you know, as a creative, like, it's no such thing as, you know, people always say it's no such thing as a stupid question.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you don't have to ask every question. Just watch other people.
Yeah. That's actually pretty smart, honestly. What is like with your music? Is there what is your end goal with it? Like how much further do you want to go with it? Like, do you want to like give it a couple more years and retire like some artists, or do you want to like see how far you can go?
No, this is it. I'm doing this the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I don't really, I guess, have a plan B. I feel like I was just, you know, that's what I was created for.
More or less like born.
Yeah.
This man is honestly like, I feel like every time he sends me a song, it's just progressing. I'm like, dude, you need to release this. You need to release this. But growing up and like evolving into your career and stuff like that, were there ever like points that you just were like, fuck this, I'm over it, or like I want to stop? Like, this is pointless. I'm not gonna make it.
Every day. Shit. This morning I woke up. I was like, fuck it. I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
Nah, but definitely. I think it's important. Like, you need that positive and negative.
Yeah.
Like, you need to feel those lows so that, like, when you actually do get a high, you're like, oh wow, like, I remember how that felt. I don't like that feeling.
Yeah.
I want to be over here all the time. You know, that's important.
How do you get through that? Like what helps you? What pushes you through that?
Man,
like those terrible bad times.
I think, like, my close friends around me and God.
Yeah.
And that's a cliche too, like, to say something like that, you know, but it's true.
What would you say is like the hardest thing for you, like, in music? Like, what are like some hard things? Or like, let's rephrase this question. What was the hardest thing that you went through, like, starting your career?
Starting my career, I had so many ideas and things I wanted to do, and I was all over the place, but I never executed anything. I just had ideas and ideas and ideas. And I know a lot of people that I've talked to that either make music or take pictures, whatever the case is, paint, they all have some of the same struggles. And I think you just got to finish your ideas.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that if you put it out on SoundCloud or iTunes, whatever, that don't matter. But you got to finish it.
Now, let's switch the question up. What would you say today, like right now, being like full on, like, music, everything, like no plan B, like, what is the hardest thing for you, like, doing all this stuff?
I think scheduling, not having like a set schedule, like, or I guess I do have a set schedule, but I have to make it for myself.
Yeah.
So it's not like I go to a 9 to 5 and I already know, like, oh, I can't do this tomorrow because I have to work, or I'm gonna have this weekend off, or, you know, things like that. Like, I kind of had to make my own schedule and prioritize things accordingly. And so I think that is difficult for me because I tend to procrastinate. So yeah, I think, you know.
Yeah, I was talking to this guy at this coffee shop. He, like, just came up to me randomly, and he asked me, like, what am I doing with my life? And it was just more or less like, oh, I'm just working. Told him about this little project, and he was telling me stuff about him, like what he's doing, and I asked him basically the same question. He was just like, I get this question asked all the time, like, when people try to come up to me, he's like, is there any way I can help you? And he's just like, there's never enough time in the day. And he's just like, if there could be an extra day added on to the week, like, it would make it so much easier. Or, like, if there's an extra, like, 2 hours added on to the end of the day, it would make it so much easier. But it's crazy because with myself, when I look at things, it's more or less like I want to do everything that I envision or that I come up with. Like, I want to give it, like, just do it, because, like, it's super cliche, but it's like, this is your only life. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no second chances, more or less. Like,
yeah.
I believe in second chances, but when it comes to certain things, I felt like you should just do it. Like, go out and do it, and, like, don't be afraid of it. And because the only thing that would possibly get in the way is time. Because, like, you could die, for instance, tomorrow and not be able to do the things that you were planning or wanting to do, or that you wanted to do in the past, but yet it's more or less like, I guess, like how you were just saying, like, you want to write this out, like, with music, like, this is what you want to do the rest of your life. Like, what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind, like, with your music and, like, with the production and everything?
I just want to make things that are timeless and sound timeless. Because there's all kinds of, especially now, like, there's waves of music. You know, like, it's country was big for a little bit.
Yeah.
Right, trap was big, you know, for a little bit, and like the early 2000s, it was like pop slash kind of hip hop, I guess. But if you listen to stuff from back in the day, whether it's funk or blues or folk music, all that stuff is timeless. Like you could listen to it if any emotion that you feel, you know what I mean? So yeah, I think I just want to make things that are timeless and sound timeless.
Yeah, to where you feel like you're just continuing to live on. Like it doesn't have like a specific like ending.
Yes. Like somebody from 1975 could listen to it today and be like, oh yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the band.
The band, oh nah, never mind. Somebody from 1974 could listen to it today.
Yeah.
You know, and they'd be like, oh yeah. Or in the future, people, it's not gonna sound like corny, you know?
Yeah, like, oh, this is old stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
That's dope. Do you have like any like new stuff like coming up or that you're like going to drop anytime soon?
I just had a single come out. It's called Someone Else.
Mm-hmm.
It's on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes. Tidal, if you bougie. So yeah, go cop that. And yeah, I'm gonna have stuff, you know, coming out.
Yeah. Do you have like any features or anything coming along the way too?
I got a feature on the homie Zay's album called Balance. That's on iTunes as well. You can get that. It comes out next Friday, a week from today, which is August 13th, I believe. August 9th?
I believe so.
I got stuff with John Gibbs. We worked on I worked on his project. I got that. My boy Asai Ziv, we're working on his album, or his EP, I should say. Yeah, all kinds of stuff.
That's cool, man. I'm excited.
Be on the lookout.
I'm excited to be for like what's to come, like with you and your career.
Yeah,
like, I feel like it's just starting, but I feel like you've already like done so much. You know what I mean?
I feel the same way too. It's crazy that I guess I've just started, because I have just started. I feel like I'm just starting out. But I feel like I've, even like without music, like take away music, I feel like I've done so much already just in my life. So I don't know, I'm just excited for whatever else is to come, you know?
Cool, man. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm excited to see how, like, if you're, like, I don't know, I look at you and I'm like, dude, this guy is really going to, like, make noise.
That's love, bro.
Like,
Appreciate
no homo
you.
type of stuff. Like, I'm not trying to make it all sentimental or
Nah,
gay,
nah,
but, like,
nah.
I look at it, I'm like, yo, he's really going to, like, make an impact.
Yeah, that's love, bro.
Like, with music.
Appreciate you.
Is there any advice that, like, you would give, like, either kids around my age or, like, that are wanting to, like, pursue something in their life? Like, what is some advice that you would give them?
Just make stuff. Whatever the case is, whether you take pictures or paint or music, you know, just don't worry about marketing or branding, or I don't know if this looks good for my brand. Like, just work on your craft and make stuff that's cool, and just let that do the talking for you, you know? It don't gotta be a gimmick, you know? Just be a real person.
And to end this, like, in your definition of your words, like, what is a creator to you? Like, how would you describe the word creator, like, in your words?
Make something from nothing. Somebody who can make something from nothing. And nothing doesn't necessarily mean nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But you could go outside and look at a tree and think that's nothing, but somebody can take that tree and paint a picture of it, and it's something now.
Yeah.
It's an ism.
But cool, man. Again, thanks for giving me the time.
Appreciate you, bro.
Welcoming me into your comfortable house.
You know, got the AC on and
You
shit.
got AC. You got
Yeah,
heat waves
that's the
coming
only
through.
reason this fool came through.
Big
So he
facts.
could be in
I'm
it.
about to take a nap after this. But his song, Someone Else, did just drop on all platforms of music, so you guys can check that out. I'll link his Instagram and his YouTube channel down below. But thanks, man.
Yeah, appreciate it.